everyone, this is Georgia with Georgia's Crafty Creations, and today we're going to do a project using a few different items. But I've seen these 6-fold cards on YouTube and I really liked it, but I wondered, could it be created in Cricut Design Space? So that was my challenge, and using basic shapes I was able to create a 6-fold card, which I will share my file for the base of the card down below. So let me show you what I used to make this card. First of all, I used Maymay Designs Digital Paper. I used the Carole set. And you're going to need 2 8.5 by 11 sheets of green and 1 8.5 by 11 sheet of the kind of brownish color. Real nice fall colors. Now you could also print out on 12 by 12 paper, but my printer that prints that was running out of ink, so I had to use a different printer. In addition to Melody Lane's paper, for the base of the card, I used a piece of paper from this linen closet cardstock stack from DCWV. The other things we're going to use. We're going to use a stamp set from Maymay Made It. It is the Feathers Scripture set from Psalms 91:4. So we're going to be using several stamps from this set. And then we're also going to be using stamps from Fun Stamper's Journey. We're going to use the Helping You in Thoughts and Prayers. And also from Fun Stamper's Journey, we're going to be using the Dark Roast ink pad. And the last item we're going to use is I'm going to put a little charm on my outside band from these Expression of Faith charms. Now I did create the file in Cricut Design Space, so I'm going to go ahead and get that cut, and I'll be back as soon as I get it cut out to show you how to put it together. Okay, so I've got all my pieces cut and ready. We have our base, and then we have all our little mats and panels. So I'm going to set the base aside for a moment, and what we're going to do is we have 4 of each of the squares, 4 of each of the rectangles, and 4 triangles. And we're just going to start layering these and get them all layered first. And I'm just going to use some art glitter glue to make it go a little quicker. And it holds up pretty good, and it gives you a minute to get it set where you want it. And I just put glue on. We're going to go ahead and get this put on the square. And you just line it up, eyeball it, right like that. And you just do that to all of these. And I'm going to go ahead and get all of these done, and then we'll start assembling our card. Okay, now that we have all those together, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take our base. Now I used a linen cardstock, so one side is kind of textured and the other is smooth. I want the smooth to the inside, so I'm going to go ahead and fold everything in, and you've got score lines, a square score line in the middle, and then 2 small score lines. So you're just going to want to fold all those over, and you can do them one at a time in and crease it really well. And once you have that all done, you can see where your fold lines are, and you can start assembling your card. Of course, your square piece is going to go right in the center in the middle. And you can decide which way you want your pattern to go, but I'm good with it right there. And then of course you're going to put your triangles on both the inside and the outside. The same thing with your rectangles and your squares. You're going to have one on either side. The only place you're not going to have one is on the very back, because you don't need one on the back. So I'm going to get all of that glued in, and then we'll start with our stamping. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do before we start stamping is I cut pieces for a band for around the card. But I didn't do these on Cricut because it was an afterthought. But all you need for the band is you need one piece. The green is 1 inch wide by 8.5 inches long. And the gold brown color is 8.5 inches long by 3/4 of an inch. And this, all I did with this piece is I ran it through my Xyron. Just made it quicker to do. And then I just kind of lined them up end to end and centered it where I wanted it. Now you don't have to center it. You could put it offset, do it however you'd like to do it. I don't like mine quite centered, so I'm going to leave it off a little bit. And then once you get your card done, you just take and bend it around, fit it in, and then glue it together, which we'll do that in a little bit. Okay, now we're ready to do our stamping on this card. I didn't do a whole lot of embellishment because the person who asked me to make this card wanted it more simple, because it's for a lady who was just diagnosed with cancer and just went through surgery. And she likes scripture, so I thought it'd be nice to just do a lot of little stamps just to let her know she was being thought about. So once again, the stamp set we're using is Maymay's Feather Stamp Set, and also Fun Stamper's Journey Everyday Set. So let's get started on the stamping. Now I didn't stamp this using my MISTI because it was too big, and I didn't want to stamp it until I had it finished, so I knew exactly where I wanted to place everything. So on the front, we're going to use the ones from Fun Stamper's Journey. We're going to use the Helping You, or Holding You, in Thought and Prayer. But I am going to open this up to stamp it, just because it's easier to stamp it flat than with it folded up. I just wanted to make sure where each of my sentiments were going. So we're going to do the Holding You there, and in Thought and Prayer down on this side. So I have my Fun Stamper's Journey Dark Roast ink pad. We're going to go ahead and do the Holding You first. Go ahead and stamp that. That looks good. Now we'll do this lower corner. That looks good. And then on the inside, which I have to open my other one up to see exactly what I did, is on this one we're going to do, he will cover you with his feathers. And it looks like this is going to be upside down, but it's going to flip in. So it will be correct when the card is open. So we're going to go ahead and get that placed where we want it. Now once again, the silicone stamps is from Maymay Made It, and I'll leave a link below for that stamp set. That one looks good. And on this lower panel, we're just going to do a feather. Plus, once I get it all together, I see more where I want things, and it's easier to stamp once I know, rather than doing it individually and then putting it together. Once again, I'm trying to figure out which way I put it. You could probably put it either direction. We're going to do it like this. And I'm okay with not getting ink on all of it because I like having it more of a rustic feel for this car. I'm not sure why, but I just like it that way. So then that will fold in. And when you open it, that will be what they see first. And then we're just going to do, and I took it off, we're going to do a feather on either one of our triangles here. Once again, I'm okay if the feathers don't stamp all the way. And if it comes over to the other side, I'm okay. There we go for those. Now on the inside pieces, I used You Are a Blessing and then some small feathers on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And get that where I want it. Stamp that down. And then we're going to grab our little feather. And him I'm going to stamp a couple times, but we're going to do it once strong and then just kind of do a little shadow. Just put a little more on this side. We're going to do it once more and another little shadow. And then we're going to straighten it up and do one more. Just gives it a nice little feathery look and I really like it. So then when you open your card, you're going to have, He will cover you with His wings, you are a blessing. And then on the inside, we're going to put God bless you. And then we're going to put the scripture reference over here of Psalms. I want to make sure I get it right. There we go. We're just going to go ahead and stamp those. I've got ink on my pad. I got to be careful that I don't get the ink onto my card. And then we're going to do one more big feather up here at the top. And then the last thing is our sentiment right for the center of our card, where it says, "Under his wings, you will find refuge." Get that lined up where we want it. Now you could do this card with different stamps, different embellishments. Make it your own and do it however you would like to do it. And I didn't get his refuge pretty good. I'm not good with lining up, but we're going to try it here. Going to get right. Oh, a little double, but I think it'd be okay. See, if you had your Misty, that wouldn't happen, but like I said, this was too big to use with the Misty. And then that leaves a place to write a note and to put your name down below to sign it. So then once it's done, you're going to fold it all up. Let me close my ink pad so I don't get ink on it. And then you're going to take your band, center it on it, and pull it around. And then get it as tight as you can. And then for this one, we're just going to use some double-sided tape. Just going to put a little bit on here. For my band. Right like that. And then I'm going to cut a piece of twine. It's like green and white twine. And I'm going to kind of cut it long because I'm going to double it over. And we're going to take this and bring it around onto our band. And we're going to pull it tight. And then before I tie it again, I'm going to go ahead and slip the strings through the charm. And go ahead and tie it a second time to knot it up. And then tie a little bow into it. Or you could just leave the knot if you like, but I like having a little bow. And there you have it. So I hope you like this card. Once again, I'll share my Cricut file down below. But make the card your own. Do it for Christmas, birthdays, whatever you like. And for the Melody Lane design paper, I'll leave a link down below for that. And hop on over to Facebook and join Melody Lane Designs Digital Paper for more cards and inspiration. And also you can join George's Crafty Creations on Facebook. And you can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Pinterest. So I hope you guys like this. Enjoy the file. Show us what you're making with what we show you. Have a great day, everybody. Until next time, bye.